And for that, he and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, are now facing publicly filed criminal charges.
Amen. God bless. God bless America. We need to hold these stupid, ignorant, misinformation spewing politicians in some way, shape, or form. All right, so just to make sure that we are on the same level, all right, sometimes you have to establish basic reality checks, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of different people have a lot of different perspectives when it comes to a lot of different conversations, all right? That's just human nature. But some things, okay, I know Candace Owens has destroyed what like basic facts are, all right? But let's try to handle this conversation like adults, all right? We have to believe, we have to agree at some point that your words and actions, but for the sake of this conversation, your words can have a positive action or a negative reaction. Like that's plain and simple. If I said, hey, young man, you're doing a beautiful job here at your job. You're amazing. I appreciate your hard work and your efforts. And soon enough, I want to be able to reward you for your hard work that you do at this company. You're going to accept that. That if anything, that's going to make you look at me in a positive way. If I said, hey, you ugly, your mama ugly, your daddy is butt ugly, and your kids are going to be ugly, like, then you're going to be upset at me. Like, your words have actions, and depending who you're talking to or who you're talking about is going to have its own action or reaction. You see what I'm saying? Like, this feels like it's really elementary type conversations. But like I said, for the sake of these conversations, we have to lay out the basic ground rules. All right. Trump and J.D. Vance. All right. Just dumb Vance is in big trouble. Trouble. Your lies and conspiracies, at some point, you have to take accountability for that. You can't just say what you want. You can't just go along with any conspiracy theory. If you have a platform, okay, if I say something crazy, not too many people are going to hear it. But if Trump, J.D. Vance, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Kamala Harris, CNN, if they are spreading misinformation, especially about a group of people, you could put those group of people in danger. Because we know there's a lot of idiots that will just hear catchwords like taking your country, taking your jobs. They want to eat your pets. They want to steal your pets. People love pets for whatever reason. They love them like more than kids. You know what I'm saying? So when you say these kind of things about a minority, and on top of that, saying that they're illegal, like, you're only setting up a group of people to be in harm's way. If you didn't mean it, if you did mean it, whatever the meaning behind your statements, it was false. Dozens of people told you it was false, and you still stuck with it. So what happened in Springfield, Ohio, multiple schools, multiple hospitals were getting bomb threats. Those are like the last places you want to call a bomb threat, because you're putting a lot of people, especially in hospitals, just a big inconvenience. And trust me, I work at a hospital. You don't want to do something like that. It's going to be just a headache. All right. Haitians being threatened. Once again, you're putting a spotlight on a group of people based off of lies. And what we seen that was happening last week was we had hate groups marching through the streets, guns and everything. Why? Based off of lies. So at some point, we need to hold these people accountable. And that's exactly what the people in Springfield, Ohio is doing. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The jobs are going to illegal migrants that came into our country illegally. Our black population all over the country, our Hispanic population, are losing their jobs. They're citizens of America. They're losing their jobs.
All right, Donald Trump at his rally yesterday in North Carolina again suggesting there are jobs specific to communities of color that are being taken by undocumented immigrants. Trump also continues to...
And it's weird because this isn't an old story. This was just a few days ago if you're watching this when I posted. But and she makes a good point. And I don't really like, Morning Joe, whatever. Like, they're almost like Fox News, but to the far, just weird left. But she makes a good point. Why is Trump framing his argument in the sense of illegal immigrants are here to steal black people and Mexican people's jobs? Like it's just weird how, he wants to frame that. But of course, people are going to believe that there's a certain jobs for black folks and certain jobs for Mexicans. Like, come on, man.
Vilify and demonize immigrants who are here legally, specifically Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio. And for that, he and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, are now facing publicly filed criminal charges.
Amen. God bless. God bless America. We need to hold these stupid, ignorant, misinformation spewing politicians in some way, shape, or form. That's it. I guarantee you, once we start doing that, the conversation will quickly shift to policies and things that matter. But if we continue to allow these people to just try to out rhetoric, the old rhetoric, and at some point it's only going to get crazier. We need to hold them accountable because people's lives are literally in danger by idiots who will just take this misinformation and act upon it. That's basic information. You don't have to be a genius to understand that.
The group, Haitian Bridge Alliance, filed the charges on Tuesday through a legal statute in the state, blaming the Republican presidential ticket for recent threats of violence against the town, which started after Trump and Vance spread lies that Haitian migrants in Springfield were eating residents' pets. Joining us now, the attorney.
Which I got to add, and that lie, or at least, the people or the person who's taking credit for creating that lie was part of a hate group. And I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to give them my little platform any credibility. But it's a hate group. So why are we not vetting information from a hate group? I mean, it sounds, and I see in his interview, it sounds like this is exactly what he wanted. So, I mean, let's just connect some dots here. It's just like those, children type elementary drawings where you just connect the 1, 2, 3 to the 4 to the 5 to the 6. It's simple. You don't have to be a genius to understand this.
Representing Haitian Bridge Alliance, Sabodi Chandra. And sir, thank you very much for being on the show. I guess, first of all, explain the ability. These are how are these charges being filed? What's the law that allows them? Mm-hmm. And what's the possibility it actually leads to an arrest?
So Ohio is among some states in the country that permit private citizens to file charges in the form of a sworn affidavit in a court and ask the court to review those charges, affirm whether there's probable cause, and either issue arrest warrants or then refer the matter to a prosecutor for further handling and investigation.
Okay. And we'll get to when potentially the court will review and refer, but let's talk about the charges. Disrupting public service, making false alarms, committing telecommunications harassment, committing aggravated menacing, violating the prohibition against complicity. Are you able to prove these charges? And can you give us some examples?
Yes, and I should add to those that today or tomorrow we plan on amending the charges to include inducing panic. The proof is set forth in the affidavit. The proof has been there for all the world to see in terms of the statements made by Trump and Vance on social media, on video captured in interviews, and the effect of that on Springfield, not just the Haitian population, but the town as a whole, where there have been school evacuations and closings, colleges, city hall, threats to the mayor and his family, and 33 bomb threats, among other consequences. So the evidence is all there, and it's been open and notorious. Unfortunately, local prosecutors haven't done anything about it, and that's why the Haitian Bridge Alliance stepped up as private citizens under this statute to file these charges for judicial review.
And have you gotten a response from the court? Is that the process? I mean, is the court going to review these charges? And what would be the next step here?
I believe so. I mean, we've entrusted this to a judge. I think the court understands its solemn responsibility now that this private citizen group and individual have filed the affidavit. And so now we expect a review. The court has the following options: either issue arrest warrants forthwith after affirming that there's probable cause. Forthwith means immediately. That's what the statute says. Or refer the matter for further investigation to the prosecutor. Now, we've expressly asked that the court not do that because the prosecutor hasn't acted. What we're asking for is a judicial determination on probable cause, which will then make it more transparent for the world as to whether the prosecutor is going to fulfill the prosecutor's duties and take those charges forward.
Have you heard from the judge as to whether this is being actually considered?
We've been in touch with the clerk of courts, and we understand it's been referred to a judge for review, and I have every belief and expectation that the court will review this solemnly.
The attorney representing Haitian Bridge Alliance, civil rights lawyer Subodh Chandra, thank you very much for.
All right, let's get back right here. When it comes to these lawsuits and complaints and all these situations being brought in front of judges and whoever needs to look at this, we need to actually take action, because at some point it's going to be like the little boy who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be all these like, oh, you know, we're going to sue, or we're going to, you know, press charges, or and blah, blah, blah. And if this continues year after year, because this is not the first time, you know what I'm saying? And it's just going to continue and continue. So something needs to be done. And I don't care who gets upset. I don't care about the conspiracies people are going to make up. If you break the law, a citizen or not, you're in America and you break our laws, you need to face the consequences. And that brings me to my next video I'm going to be doing with Eric Adams. You break the law, you need to be held accountable. I don't care what position of power you in. I don't care what you're trying to do for your city, for your country, for your people. You need to be held accountable. And like I mentioned before, at some point, the rhetoric is only going to get more crazy. Because like I say, it seems like the political strategy, and this kind of hits on both sides, but it's more heavier on Republicans, trying to demonize your opponent. And then it spews into demonizing your opponent and the rest of the political powers. Then it spreads into the voters. Then and this is more for Republicans, then you start demonizing and pointing fingers at innocent people. Them Haitian people in Springfield, Ohio, was minding their business, living their life, and they're legal, so they're not illegal. So, it's not like they're trying to hide from somebody. And according to, people who actually live there and actually has access to this information, they were actually constructive citizens in Springfield. So it's not like they were just causing a mess and just causing no, they were actually working jobs and working them well. But now all of a sudden, because misinformation or just blatantly lying is now disturbing the peace. So at some point, who's going to be held accountable? Because trust me, it's only going to get worse. That simple. You, once again, doesn't take a genius to understand this. It's weird that I have to have this conversation with other grown people. You know what I'm saying? Like other grown, probably more intelligent people watching this, and they're still going to find a way to argue like, well, you know, like they were technically illegal. Like, bro, shut up. Come on. You miss me with that, with these whack arguments. Being held accountable will solve a lot of these issues. But once again, if you think I'm lying, if you think Trump and JD Vance, for whatever reason, need to spread these lies, or if you think somehow, some way these lies are really truths, and it doesn't really matter what truths is, right? Because that's what Candace Owens said, and we know Candace Owens never told a lie, right? So if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. And like always, let's have that conversation.